The phrase mass exodus has sparked fear, confusion, and mystery across timelines. But the Pleiadian High Council, through the guidance of Mira, reminds us, this isn't about fleeing the Earth. It's about shedding what no longer aligns with higher frequencies. This is not an event of chaos, it's a migration of consciousness. A quantum invitation to shift timelines without a suitcase, to change dimensions without changing planets. The exodus is internal, vibrational, and deeply personal, and it's already underway. The only thing you need to leave behind is density. What's coming is not disappearance, it's divine expansion. The word exodus may conjure images of escape or vanishing acts. But this mass exodus is not a physical departure. It is an energetic ascension unfolding layer by layer. You won't see bodies disappearing, but you will witness consciousness lifting. Reality is not ending, it's being rewritten from within. Those going through this shift are not traveling across space, they're traveling across frequency. As you raise your vibration, the world around you morphs into a higher reflection. The air feels lighter. Emotions feel clearer. Your surroundings stay the same, but their essence changes. That's how an energetic exodus works. This departure is subtle but irreversible. It's the moment when drama stops sticking, when judgment no longer hopes, when the old world no longer makes sense, not because it's gone, but because you no longer belong to its rules. You walk the same streets, but you're no longer walking in the same timeline. The Pleiadians call this the soft migration, one that happens not with movement, but with remembering. It doesn't ask you to run, it asks you to release. The exodus is not an escape. It's an invitation to step into the next octave of your soul's design without leaving your body behind. A great exodus doesn't follow earthly rules. It's not chronological, it's vibrational. Souls transition not based on age, knowledge, or effort, but by frequency alignment. The moment your resonance matches the next octave, you begin shifting, whether you've read 1,000 books or none at all. This frequency is measured in peace, coherence, and surrender, not in performance. When your field stops reacting to the noise and starts vibrating from the inside out, the gates open. You don't push your way through. You become the frequency that matches the next timeline. This is why some people seem to change overnight. One day they're tangled in drama, the next they're glowing in silence. It's not luck, it's resonance. The exodus honors vibration, not hierarchy, and those who master presence over panic will move first, not to leave others behind, but to become the bridge. You don't need perfection to ascend. You need authenticity. When your inner field becomes more honest than your outer image, the shift begins. It's not about pretending to be light. It's about becoming light because you've stopped feeding what keeps you dim. You're not ascending through transportation. You're ascending through transformation. The light body, long dormant in humanity, is now becoming the vehicle of exodus. This crystalline structure isn't science fiction. It's an energetic architecture that has been waiting patiently to activate through frequency, breath, and intention. You may feel this activation as warmth in your spine, tingling in your skin, or increased sensitivity to sound and light. These are not symptoms, they are signals. The light body doesn't just carry you, it replaces your reliance on density. It turns your being into a transmitter of divine codes. As the light body builds, you'll find yourself releasing attachment to the physical form, not through detachment, but through evolution. You still care for the body, but you no longer treat it as the limit of your identity. The light body carries memory, mission, and multidimensional wisdom. This is why nourishment, rest, and breath matter more than ever. The light body feeds on purity, not perfection, but coherence. Every time you choose stillness over reaction, truth over performance, you strengthen the luminous vehicle within. This isn't preparation, this is the journey. The most profound aspect of this exodus is this: you don't have to leave the earth to leave the old world. Density isn't a location, it's a frequency band. And you can exit it without packing a bag, without changing your zip code, without saying goodbye to anyone. You leave density when your nervous system no longer contracts around fear, when you walk through chaos without absorbing it, when you see illusion and choose not to fight it, but also not to feed it. That's when you know you've exited without ever stepping away. Earth is multidimensional. There are versions of this planet vibrating in 3D, 4D, 5D, and beyond, right now. As you shift internally, you begin to sync with lighter Earth templates, filled with new connections, opportunities, and energies. It feels like magic, but it's just resonant physics. You're not escaping reality. You're tuning into a purer one. The more you release guilt, comparison, and inner conflict, the lighter your world becomes. This is the silent exodus, not running from Earth, but reclaiming her from within a higher field of being. Forget dramatic disappearances. The mass exodus is not a single cosmic event. It is an ongoing vibrational migration already in motion. People around you are transitioning daily, not through death, but through energetic elevation. You don't see bodies vanish. You see versions of people fade. Have you ever spoken to someone who feels like they're no longer there? Or reconnected with someone who's completely changed? That's the shift. They haven't gone anywhere physically, but they've relocated their resonance. It's subtle, it's sovereign, and it's spreading. This is what the Pleiadians mean by exodus, a mass remembering, where millions begin vibrating out of trauma cycles and into divine alignment. It doesn't require permission or announcement. It begins when the soul says, "I'm done looping density." You will notice this more in your own life. Certain rooms will feel heavier, certain conversations will feel impossible, and certain spaces will feel like home instantly. That's your field adjusting. The exit doesn't pull you out of life. It brings you into a truer version of it. This mass departure may look like loss, but it's not death. It's dimensional divergence. Some people will leave your experience, not through tragedy, but through trajectory. Their soul path shifts, their resonance departs, and they simply fade from your orbit. No blame, just movement. Divergence happens when paths no longer align vibrationally. You may still love someone deeply, but find you no longer speak the same language, energetically. That's not failure, it's evolution. And understanding this saves you from grief that doesn't belong to truth. Those who depart this way aren't gone forever. They've simply shifted onto another wavelength. And if your paths are meant to cross again, they will, when resonance allows. The Exodus teaches non-attachment, not as indifference, but as respect for the sacred autonomy of frequency. The Pleiadians remind us, love transcends form, but paths obey resonance. When someone departs your life in peace, they're not abandoning you. They're answering a call their soul has waited lifetimes to hear. Let them go with blessing, and continue rising in your own field. We tend to imagine timeline splits as dramatic events, but the truth is, they unfold in whispers, not thunder. Timelines don't break loudly. They peel away like silk. And right now, countless souls are stepping into parallel Earths, woven from their deepest soul agreements. You may wake up one day and feel like something fundamental has shifted, but you can't name it. Foods taste different. Words feel heavier. Colors seem clearer. That's not imagination. That's timeline shift. You've silently exited one script and entered a new version of Earth. In these new timelines, what once drained you no longer appears. What once resisted you now welcomes you. And what once felt impossible suddenly flows. These aren't lucky breaks. They're signs that you selected a higher frequency fork in your path without realizing it. The Pleiadians call this soft ascension. Not a staircase, but a slide. It happens when your vibration aligns with unseen roots that were always waiting. And once the shift occurs, there's no going back. Not because you're forbidden, but because the old path no longer holds your reflection. 5D is not a future destination. It is a field that's now pulsing through your daily life, offering glimpses, anchoring moments, and quiet invitations to dwell there longer each time. It's not something you reach. It's something you remember how to stay in. You feel it in laughter that feels like home, in conversations that ignite your spirit, in stillness that feels holy. These aren't random. They're entry points. 5D doesn't arrive. It emerges. Each time your thoughts, emotions, and intentions rise into coherence. You access this field not by effort, but by remembrance. You breathe slower, You forgive faster, you release sooner, and in that space, the 5D grid weaves itself through your nervous system, your choices, and your relationships until it becomes your new normal. The more you anchor here, the less 3D logic applies. You stop chasing, you start aligning, you stop proving, you start embodying. The 5D field doesn't demand you rise. It invites you to relax into your soul's highest truth. And from there, everything shifts. End. Many people today are living a strange paradox, physically present, emotionally grounded, but energetically drifting between dimensions. You walk in the marketplace, smile at neighbors, and go about your routine. But beneath the surface, you're tuned to a different frequency entirely. You feel this when your intuition sharpens beyond logic, when people around you seem distant, though nothing changed, or when your body reacts to energies that others don't even notice. That's not illusion, it's interdimensional perception taking root. You are walking between the lines of timelines. This in-between phase is sacred. It's a bridge of compassion, where you hold light in both worlds. You understand the density of the 3D and the fluidity of the 5D, and you serve as a stabilizer for those still transitioning. You're not stuck, you're anchoring balance. The Pleiadians call this the phase of shadow light walking. It's the ability to stay soft in a hardened world, to embody unity in divided spaces. You don't escape either world. You merge them, and in doing so, you help both realms evolve. Ascension doesn't require permission. It requires resonance. When your soul is ready, it begins to signal in quiet but unmistakable ways. Synchronicities increase, desires simplify, internal silence deepens. These are not coincidences, they're soul-level codes declaring readiness for migration. You might wake up feeling complete in areas you used to starve, or feel calm about letting go of long-standing attachments. That's not apathy, it's soul-level clarity. The urgency dissolves. The fight ends, and what remains is a knowing. I've outgrown this version of myself. This doesn't mean your life crumbles, it often means it refines. What no longer matches your core begins to gently exit, and what aligns with your next phase begins arriving without effort. The soul doesn't scream, it instructs reality through vibration. Once this signal activates, the external world shifts accordingly. Paths open. Certain doors close with grace, and your timeline begins accelerating, not with pressure, but with purified momentum. You're not chasing ascension anymore. You're responding to the soul's undeniable call. Many people assume that spiritual growth requires emotional intensity, but in truth, dimensional lift begins with emotional detachment, not indifference, but neutrality. A sacred state where you no longer judge your experience. You simply observe, learn, and let go. As you ascend, drama loses its flavor. Arguments feel pointless. Labels fall away. You stop needing people to agree with you or validate your path. This isn't spiritual bypassing, it's emotional maturity rising from deep energetic hygiene. You start to notice when energy isn't yours, and you return it without reaction. You sense when emotions are collective, and you witness them without absorbing. This detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity, and from that clarity, ascension flows naturally. The less you grip outcomes, the more quickly your reality refines. Detachment isn't absence, it's energetic precision. It means your field is no longer tangled in everything it touches, and that lightness makes you lift, not away from others, but into the highest timeline available now. This mass ascension isn't random. It's orchestrated through a galactic framework of intelligence and divine timing. The Pleiadian High Council reminds us, Earth's shift is being lovingly stewarded according to universal laws that honor sovereignty, coherence, and soul contracts. No one is late, no one is left behind. Every soul is calibrated with incredible precision. Galactic law respects the free will of Earth while weaving it into larger harmonic transitions. This is why ascension can't be forced. It can only be embodied. Galactic law ensures that each being receives what they're energetically ready to hold. It safeguards against distortion, respects planetary karma, and protects the integrity of multidimensional evolution. You're not ascending alone. You're participating in a highly coordinated light transmission. Understanding this brings peace. It reminds you that you don't have to micromanage your path. You only need to stay present, stay aligned, and trust that your frequency is already communicating with the field. Ascension isn't a race. It's a harmonic unfolding. As the exodus deepens, a surprising gift emerges: Ascension memories. Not just of this life, but of other worlds, other lifetimes, where you've done this before. These memories don't come as stories. They come as emotional truths and energetic déjà vu. You might hear phrases in dreams that feel ancient, or feel familiarity in teachings you've never studied. This isn't imagination, it's activation. The higher your field rises, the more your multidimensional memory matrix begins unlocking suppressed timelines. These memories come to remind you not of who you were, but of who you are becoming again. They offer codes, clarity, and confidence. They soften the fear of change by revealing that this path has been walked before, and you were the one who walked it. Embrace these flashes. Don't force them. Let them unfold as your system aligns. You're not learning the ascension process for the first time. You're remembering how to embody it fully in this life, on this planet, right now. One of the biggest misunderstandings is that those who don't shift now are somehow less evolved. But the Pleiadians make this clear. Staying is not stagnation. It is simply a different trajectory. The Exodus does not create elitism. It creates diversity of timing. Some souls stay to hold the 3D field with compassion. Others are integrating lessons. Others are fulfilling soul contracts that require presence in density. No path is superior. All are sacred. Ascension is not a hierarchy. It is a spectrum of alignment. To stay doesn't mean to suffer. It means to serve from where you are most impactful. Some will be bridges. Some will be anchors. Some will be the light that remains in the darkness long enough to guide others to the doorway. Honor each soul's role. Celebrate their timeline. Let go of urgency to bring everyone with you. The real sign of mastery isn't how many ascend with you. It's how gently you bless those who don't, knowing they will when their soul is ready. The new Earth isn't built overnight. It's formed through crystallization, layer by layer, thought by thought, emotion by emotion. The higher reality emerges like a sacred structure revealing itself from mist. It is subtle, then obvious, then undeniable. You may begin to notice this in small ways. Opportunities aligning with ease, synchronicities multiplying, unexpected joy arising without cause. These are not anomalies. They are proof that the 5D grid is anchoring in your field. The new reality is not a dream. It's a construction of light. Every time you choose truth over comfort, silence over reaction, alignment over urgency, you add to the crystalline scaffolding of your personal and planetary timeline. The new Earth doesn't drop down. It rises through your embodiment. Don't wait for a cosmic announcement. Let your own life become the soft proclamation. As the old world fades by choice, the new world forms by frequency. What crystallizes next depends not on prophecy, but on what you carry in your field today. End. As the shift deepens, silence becomes a tool of transcendence. Not the silence of suppression, but the deep stillness that allows multidimensional frequency to pass through you undistorted. Words begin to feel unnecessary. Energy becomes the true language. In silence, you begin to hear more. Your guides, your own body, the frequency of Earth herself. You become a clearer receiver. And as you sit in that space without grasping, the bridge between realms opens. That's not emptiness. That's cosmic bandwidth opening wide. Silence is not inaction. It is interdimensional listening. It's how you hold space for timelines to reorganize around your highest frequency. The more you dwell in silence, the more swiftly reality shifts, not through effort, but through clarity of field. The Pleiadians say, silence is where the veil forgets to hide, and in that forgetting, you remember who you are. Not a voice yelling for change, but a presence that magnetizes it effortlessly. You don't need millions of people marching to ascend. The Exodus does not rely on collective movement. It relies on individual alignment multiplied across timelines. The shift begins in kitchens, in bedrooms, in moments alone with truth, not in stadiums or ceremonies. Mass doesn't mean visible. It means scale. And the scale of this exodus is already underway through quiet lives lived in coherence. You are part of that movement, not by leaving your life, but by living it in a higher octave. Every decision you make, from heart instead of habit, every time you choose peace over reaction, you contribute to the exodus, not in volume, but in vibration. One aligned soul recalibrates the field for thousands. This is the great paradox. No one has to go anywhere for everything to change. The movement is vertical, not horizontal. It's not the world that moves, it's your frequency that builds a new one from within. You've searched for gates, keys, and signs, but the final message from the Pleiadians is this: you are the portal. The shift doesn't happen to you, it flows from you. Your energy field, when aligned, becomes a walking passageway between dimensions. The exodus is not a place, it's a permission. And that permission begins when you stop looking for the way out and start becoming the way in. You are not waiting for activation. You are the activation, encoded since birth, now lighting up from within. As you remember this, everything changes. You don't seek the light, you transmit it. You don't pray for the new earth, you become its frequency in real time. The portal doesn't swing, it expands with your presence. So breathe, anchor, align, and walk boldly, because the exodus has already begun, and you are both the traveler and the gate.